Bam. If you buy and sell vehicles for a profit or you want to, you're in the right place. This is the Flipping Genius podcast. Our number one goal is to help our listeners make more money. Every episode, we share information, ideas, and experiences of real-life car flippers. I'm Randy Lee. I'm the host of Flipping Genius. I've flipped cars most of my life. For over a dozen years now, I've been a licensed dealer. I am working to build the best podcast about successfully flipping cars for a consistent profit. Let's get to it, flippers. Hey, welcome to episode 140 of the Flipping Genius podcast. I'm your host, Randy Lee, and I apologize for being a little bit tardy in getting the episodes out the last couple of weeks. I've had a few important personal events going on, and frankly, I'm just not that smart. So I'm been juggling things to try to come up with good things to talk to you about because I don't want to waste your time. But I did want to share a few things. I tried to share last week with you about the current situation for car dealers that we've got to abide by the FTC regulations and have systems in place to protect our customers and potential customers' private information. And I talked about that last week, so I'm not going to go into that more. If you want more information, feel free to write me, and I can send you more information, or you can Google that. Some very important stuff. I gave you the dates last week. And then this morning, I got up and I grabbed a couple of the magazines that I try to stay abreast of our industry about the car business. And was a little bit shocked. I guess I shouldn't be shocked at the type of fraud that is taking place in the world these days. The particular magazine I was reading had to do with finance, the finance business as it applies to the car business. And the one thing that I came to my attention is that the consumers, I think the statistic was 70% of car dealers say that 70% of the information that they collect, or 70% of the consumers, are giving them fraudulent information, including fraudulent pay stubs, fraudulent details. And then looking further at another article, talked about people online who are willing to sell you bogus identification numbers, replacement social security numbers. I don't know a lot about this, but it scared the hell out of me, just to be honest. I don't do any financing, so I'm not in a position really to do anything except for collect cash. But I do realize that there's some fears there too. I do collect information about the people who buy cars from me. We do the title work for them, and I have to protect that information as well. That's part of the training that you'll learn as a car dealer that you've got to learn by, I think it's December 9th. Date is in last month's episode, so double check that if you haven't seen it. But this is just troubling stuff, and it's something that I want you to be aware of it, whether you are a licensed car dealer like myself, a wannabe licensed car dealer, or just a casual flipper who flips one or two cars a year. The fact is, there are people out there that are going to try to defraud you. They are very systematic in this. You're going to be approached wherever you sell your vehicles. The more vehicles you have to sell, the more approaches you're going to get. But the fewer vehicles that you have to sell, the less familiar you're going to be with these attempts. So I want to make sure that you're aware of this. As soon as you post something, you probably experienced this already. If you post something on Facebook Marketplace, somebody is going to contact you immediately and say, I want to buy this from you. I want to pick this up today, I think is the terminology. And I want to call you. Can I call you? But please, I need to send you a code number to make sure that you're real, to protect myself. And it is so frequent. It's almost ridiculous that it works, but it must work. Another thing that I've noticed in the Flipping Genius used car group here in North Alabama, I have two of them. The total membership of those two groups is somewhere around 34,000 members, 35,000 members. And every single day, I have at least 50 people try to join those groups that are completely bogus. They're from, well, I can't tell you exactly where they're from. I can tell you that they don't say they're from North Alabama, which is one of the principal things that I only people who are in my area here get into my groups, and those are groups set up to buy and sell vehicles. But they're at least 50 a day that I cancel out, that I block, and another 50 will come tomorrow, another 50 after that. It may be more like 100, because I just go through and I would say out of 50, there'll be 2 legitimate people trying to join our group, which I try to screen them, allow those 2 in, and then some of those turn out to be also bogus. So I have to watch the content in my group. I do not know what they're trying to do. Honestly, they're in a foreign country, all different types of foreign countries, and some of the podcast guests, audience. I'm sorry, some of our audience. I know that you're not all in the United States, and I welcome you to listen. About 11% of our listening audience is outside of the United States, and I'm tickled that the information that we talk about on Flipping Genius can benefit you. And also, I'm sure that you are also in danger of the fraud that I'm talking about, and I just want you to be aware of it. Be cautious. Well, I thought something else I want to ask you, and I want to ask you a few different things. Number one, along these lines, if you are a victim of fraud, if you are a potential victim of fraud, you've seen something like this, please go to the Car Flipping Forum on Facebook and share your story with us. Share it with everybody. I don't want to dedicate a lot of time on the at this point, at least, I don't want to dedicate a whole episode to just this, because I know you guys are here to listen to ways to make money, but we've got to protect ourselves too. So let's protect each other by sharing this information. I shared something about this scam that I just mentioned a few weeks back on the forum, and I was pleased to be able to share that with you. If you haven't seen it yet, just go to the Car Flipping Forum and look that up. If you're not a member of the Flipping Genius Car Flipping Forum, just go to Facebook, look up Facebook groups, look up Flipping Genius, and you'll see our logo and you'll see the Flipping Genius Car Flipping Forum will probably be the first group that comes up. We've got about 20 other groups there too that are car selling groups, but look for the forum and just answer a couple questions like, what's your experience, where you're at, just some things that I want to make sure that you're legit, and then just follow the rules when you get in. If you break the rules by basically trying to defraud other people or promoting yourself just to try to make money off of everybody in the group immediately, I'll block you and ban you like that. I banned so many people from our other groups. It is no skin off my back, because I'm trying to protect us. But let's try to protect each other. So if you've got a story like that, or you've got some additional information, please share it with us. Share it with each other. Let's help keep each other out of trouble. And along those lines, I want to ask you again. I would love to share your stories, your insights, your ideas both on the forum and on the podcast. In future episodes, I would very much like to have conversations with other car flippers, other car dealers, anybody that's had other experiences. If you're in the buy here, pay here business, I would like to talk to you about that. I've thought about that business a lot, and it is honestly not a business that I feel real good about, but I know some of our listeners would like more information about it. Um, we can talk about that. If you do financing, if you're in the financing world and have something to share with our group, I'd like to hear about that. If you are doing any specialty in or not specialty in the car flipping world, and you have a story to share, I'd love to share it with our audience. I, I I love coming to the microphone every week and talking to you guys. I love trying to find a way to share something that will make you money. That's the number one goal. The Flipping Genius podcast is to help our listeners make more money. But sometimes I run out of things to talk about, and you probably noticed it. I'm not that smart, like I said. So I would love to hear other voices on the microphone. So if you're willing, we don't have to do a whole episode. If you just want to do 5 minutes, that's fine. If you just have a little bit to share, that's fine. If you just want to email me and ask me to share your story on the microphone because you don't want to go on the microphone or on the camera, that's fine too. I'd love to have your input. You can email me at flippingquestions@gmail.com. You can go to the Car Flipping Forum and contact me through Facebook. And let's see, I know that there are a ton of talented folks out there that have information to share. Please share that with me, with us, and let's work together. I'm excited to share a little story I got from one of our listeners, Karen, out in Kansas. Shared a story with me that she has put together a couple referral networks and it's starting to pay off for her. And I'm excited about that for her, and I want to share it with you. A little twist that I think, I've talked about mechanics, other car dealers. I've talked about beauty salons. This week, I personally went out and talked to a lot of contractors at home building sites. I got 3 trucks I'm working on selling, and I always do that with trucks. If you haven't heard me talk about that, you can find that on the Car Flipping Forum. You can find it in past episodes where I use a double-sided, I don't think I have one with me right now, a double-sided flyer, one side in English, one side in Spanish. And it always works for me to sell trucks, especially. But Karen gave me an idea that I thought is excellent. It's something that I benefited from before, almost by accident. One of the things in the past that I've done, I'm looking forward to doing some more, but COVID kind of shut me down, is I'm a songwriter, and I would perform my music and other music at nursing facilities and long-term care facilities, memory care centers. At one point, I was doing 9 shows a month where I would go out and sing to these folks, and that was really why I was there. I was there to sing and entertain them. Some of them paid me a little bit of money. I like getting money, obviously, but it was really more about the service I provided. But while I was there, I couldn't help but in between the songs, you talk about what you do, and I would naturally talk about the car business, and I would tell stories. I have a few songs that are directly related to the car business. One of them is called "Mister, Will You Sell Me a Honda?" That's a song from a long time ago. I haven't sang that song in a long time, but it's a comical one. It talks a lot about exactly what I talked about earlier about the fraudulent information that people give you when they want to buy a car, but from a comical standpoint. But while I was talking about that, a lot of the folks that were there, including the staff, some of the staff would be looking for cars. Some of the staff would have cars to sell, but more importantly, I discovered that some of the folks that were living there had vehicles they needed to sell. Sometimes it wouldn't come up unless they had a visitor, and I was talking about it, and I would be approached afterwards, and they'd say, "Hey, do you want to buy Mom's old Ford? Do you want to buy Mom's old Toyota?" And because they had a car back at home before they moved into this facility that they couldn't drive anymore, and usually those were really good cars. It didn't happen a lot. I mean, if it happened a lot, that would have really been a gold mine. But even the few times that it did happen, it was very big payoff, a very good, very welcome situation, in that I could buy vehicles, and I sold probably at least a dozen vehicles to employees at places like that, or referrals from them. Well, Karen told me that's exactly what she was doing. Coincidentally, I had not talked to her about this, and thank you, Karen, for sharing this with me, so I could share it with our listeners. So Karen has actually had the opportunity to come and visit with some facilities like this in her area, and come talk to them about whatever she talks to them about. I'm honestly haven't gotten a lot of details. I don't know if she's specifically talking to them about buying or selling their car, but I think more in her situation, talking about their planning for the future. And one of the future plans is, what about the vehicles that are back home in your garage that you can't drive anymore? Why not sell those? And if you need to, use the money to fund your stay here, or just sell them and put them into your estate. The fact is that a car is a depreciating asset. If it's back home in the driveway or in the garage, it's not increasing in value. And a lot of these cars they're just transportation. They're not an heirloom. So these conversations have presented opportunities for Karen to buy some vehicles, and possibly sell some too. But that is a very specific target, and I really like that. I wanted to share it with you. If you're wherever you're at, there's old folks, and our population continues to age, and I see evidence of situations like this while I'm out doing my walk. Most of you know now, I'm walking 7 miles a day now. I've lost 54 pounds this year. If you're watching on camera, you might have noticed that a little bit. And largely it's because of the walking, and the walking leads me to these opportunities too, as I've talked about in the past. And I'll walk past. I can think of 2 places right now that I walk past. I know those cars have been sitting there for a long time. Chances are, the folks that own them are in a nursing facility, and the cars are just there, and the family hasn't had a chance to do anything with them. And they've been sitting there so long now that in both these instances, these vehicles are almost not worth buying. It's a shame, but the ones I can see, there's a Volvo and a Honda, all have flat tires at one spot. There's another spot that's got a Buick Riviera, I think it is. It's a pretty old vehicle, just been sitting there for a long time. I've tried my Post-it notes. I've tried business cards. I even tried a postcard mailed to these places, and it didn't pay off. So it doesn't always work. In case you thought everything that Randy tries works, it doesn't work every time. You've got to keep trying it. But take Karen's idea, and here's how you do that. You just walk in the front door, tell them that you have information to share about their vehicles, that you would like to come and talk to the group about how you buy and sell cars, whatever you want to do. They could always say no, but walk in and present that idea, or just walk in and say, hey, you buy cars and you wonder if anybody there has a car for sale. And this is an idea. This is something that was emailed to me, and I want to share it with you. I don't have all the details of exactly how Karen did that, but I love the idea and I wanted to share it with you. And this is an example of what I'm telling you guys. If you've got information to share with the group, feel free to contact me. I'd love to have you come on and tell your story directly, or email me or contact me on the car flipping forum, and I'll share the story with everybody. Don't worry about everybody stealing your idea. The world is a big place, and there's a lot of success to go around. By helping each other, I really truly believe that we can put ourselves in a better position, especially when you put yourself in a position where you're trying to teach other people. When you teach, you get better at whatever you do. I found this in everything I've done, everything from football to business to music to the car business. Every single thing. It just seems to pay off, and it's fun to help others, and that's really why I do the Flipping Genius podcast. I want to apologize again for not being rock solid regular. I was trying to do it every single Wednesday. We'll try to get back to that. My wife and I celebrated our anniversary and her birthday, and actually went to see my nephews play football, and it's their first collegiate year playing football. So that took us away for a little while, and that's my excuse. But I'm going to try to get right back onto it. Thank you so much for those of you who called me out on it and recognized it. It's nice to be missed. It's nice to know that you look forward to it. Remember, the Flipping Genius is available in video on the Flipping Genius YouTube channel. Also, video podcasts are now available on Spotify, and we have make some of them available only by membership, but you can always see the YouTube channel. Our videos are there. You can just search Flipping Genius on YouTube. Please save us. Make sure you subscribe. It's a huge deal to me that you are a subscriber. If you haven't subscribed to the Flipping Genius YouTube channel, please subscribe. If you are listening on a podcast, please save us as a favorite so you never miss one. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave me a 5-star review. I'm holding my hand up to the camera in case you're listening. It helps us on the algorithms or whatever, so that more people will hear about us. Share it with your friends. Share us on Facebook. Share us on Twitter. Share us on all social media. Email your friends and say, hey, this guy's got some good stuff to share that will help you make money. And if there's a suggestion on what I can do in the future to help you make more money and help everybody else, please email me at flippingquestions@gmail.com. Again, thanks so much for tuning in, and look at flippinggenius.com, flippingenius.com, only one G in there. And you can see all of our past episodes, all our videos, all of our links, our resources page. Everything I talk about every week is available there. And keep coming back, and I hope we just keep helping you. Thanks so much, and again, let's work together. Let's make some money. Let's all become flipping geniuses.